Welcome to your Result Point onboarding. This video is to show you how to use the Result Point portal to view and request samples and results. Feel free to pause or go back at any time throughout the video to help you better understand this process. Let's start by logging in and navigating to the homepage. The first step is to go to qlabsconnect.com. This brings us to this login page where you will enter your username and password. This information should have already been given to you by a QLabs employee. Once we've logged into the website, we'll see this homepage. On the right is our newsfeed. This feature is designed to show you any updates about QLabs, such as holiday hours and changes to regular services. I'm going to show you how to search for your samples. You will click either of these search buttons, and it'll take you to this page where you're going to put in the company that you're looking for. When you click the drop-down arrow, you will only be able to see companies you've been given access to. Go ahead and click on the one that you want to look up, and you'll get a few filters. The first one is QL number. If you know the exact number attached to your sample, you can start typing in the first few numbers, and the search results will narrow down. If you're not sure the exact QL number, you can use this date range filter as well. This date range only applies to when QLabs received the sample, not when they were sent in or submitted. So I'm going to put in a date range, and as you can see, that narrows down this QL number field. Go ahead and click on the one that you want, and you want to click this blue View button. After clicking on that blue button, you'll be taken to this QL number preview page. If you're seeing more than one QL number on this list, it is likely that your sample received both microbiology and chemistry testing. The QL numbers will appear from the newest at the top to the oldest at the bottom. Microbiology results will typically be at the bottom of the list because those are logged in first. Chemistry results will typically be on the top. This preview page allows you to see some of your sample information, such as sample ID, client sample ID, date collected, etc. You can also view preview reports on this page. I'm going to click on Analytical Report right here, and we'll be able to see a preview of what our results will look like. Anything in green means that the results have been approved. Anything in red means it's pending approval, so this is not your final report. Now I'm going to show you how to submit an actual request. So we're going to start from this homepage again and click either this request button or this right here. They do the same thing. And then you're going to be on this create request page where you're going to fill out some information. First thing you're going to do is select your company and then your contact name. After selecting contact name, all of the address information will autofill. You also have to answer this question, but purchase order number, special instructions, and supplies questions are all optional, so you don't have to fill them out if you don't need to. Now that you've filled out all the customer information, we're going to finally submit a request. You want to click this Add New Request button right here, and a few drop-down menus will pop up. We're going to ignore Copy an Existing List right now since it's the only optional field, but we'll go over what that does later. So this first field we want to fill out is Client Sample ID. This is where you enter your sample identifier. This will be displayed on the report. For my example, I'm just going to name it sample number 123. For department, this drop-down list determines which lab will test the sample. You will only see labs that you typically send samples to in the list. If the sample is being submitted to multiple labs for different types of testing, you will need to build two sample requests for that sample. One that lists the first type of testing and one that lists the second type of testing. So for department, for example, I'm just going to choose microfood. And sample type is also a drop-down list that indicates what type of sample is being submitted. So if you click on it, you see all of your options here. I'm just going to choose meat for our example. And in order to finally add the request, you click this green add button right here. Now we will add the tests that we wish to be performed on our sample. We're going to click this add new test button right here, and 3 fields will appear. Test is a required drop-down list that is limited to the tests that your company typically requests. Our goal is to make choosing the correct test as easy as possible. If you would like to request a test that is not on your list, please contact Q Laboratories. For my example, I'm going to choose Salmonella. And this field here, method, will auto-populate. The vast majority of our tests only have one method, which means you do not have to change this field. For client specs, this is optional. If you have specifications that you want listed on the report, this is where you would add those specifications. If you leave this blank, it could impact your report and indicate an OOS. To add this test, you're just going to click the green Add button. While creating a submission, be sure to get in the habit of clicking Save Current Session. This ensures that if you have to step away from your work and your session time's out, your work will not be cleared. After you click the button, when you scroll to the top, you should get a Save Successful banner at the top of the page to confirm your save. Now we'll go over the Copy Existing List feature. This shows up when you click Add New Request, and it's that fourth dropdown that we ignored earlier. So there are two ways to look up a previously submitted sample using this dropdown. You can start by typing in a word that you know is in the sample identifier, or you can just scroll through them all and try and find the one that you're looking for. If you are copying a sample request that receives testing done in multiple labs, such as micro and chemistry, you will often see two identical samples, one on top of the other. The chemistry sample would be on top of the microbiology sample because the microbiology lab receives the sample first, so it is considered older than the chemistry sample. After you select the sample that you would like to recreate, the client sample ID, department, and sample type will autofill. You can go ahead and click Add if all of that information looks correct, and you'll see that here we have the sample we requested and the test that goes along with it. If you are submitting a set of samples that are identical to one another, the Copy Sample feature is a tool designed to help you do exactly that. To start, build the first sample. So here I have a sample built, and once it's built, you click this button, Open Copy Sample, on the left side of the screen. You should always check the Copy Sample type and Copy Tests options. Copy Client Sample ID is an optional field. If your samples have very similar sample identifiers, such as only differing by a letter or a number, you will want to check this box for Copy Client Sample ID. If your samples have specifications, you should definitely check this Copy Client Specs box. You also want to choose how many copies you want to make here on the quantity field. Once you've completed this form, you click this button here, Copy Sample, at the bottom. As soon as you do, your copied samples will appear in the sample information section of the page. We can see that they've shown up below our first sample. Make any changes you need to your sample identifiers, and then you're ready for the final steps. Before moving on to the next step, make sure that everything under sample information is correct. If anything is incorrect and needs to be changed, you'll want to click the pencil icon under the word Edit on the left-hand side, and you will be able to change any of this information. If you do decide to change it, click the Update button. If not, you can just click Cancel. Same goes for all of these down here for the tests and other samples. If you wish to delete a requested sample or test, you're going to click the red X under the Delete button. By clicking this, depending on your browser, you will get some sort of pop-up that asks, are you sure you wish to delete this request? If so, click OK. If not, click Cancel. Once all of this information is correct, we can go ahead and review the request by clicking this button right here. You will be taken to the review request page and presented with a sample submission form. This stage is designed to allow you to confirm that everything on your submission is correct. If you see anything that needs to be changed, you can scroll down and click this back button where you will be taken back to the create request page and will be able to edit any information with those pencil icons. Once all of the information on your sample submission form is correct, we recommend saving a PDF to your computer so that it can be printed and sent in with your samples. You are ready to scroll down and click the Submit Request button at the bottom right of the page. This will take you to a new page, and you should get this banner at the top that says Submission Successful. You will also get this information pop-up that notifies you to print the sample submission form and include it when you send in your samples. Finally, I'm going to go over how to create, save, load, and delete submission templates. ResultPoint gives the user the ability to create templates that can be used to quickly submit a set of samples without having to build the submission from scratch. Each account has a maximum of 60 templates, and each template must have a unique name. There are lots of potential uses for templates, and all of them save you time. For example, submitting environmental testing for the same location on some frequency, submitting the same set of samples on a regular basis, or a template that is based on a certain kind of testing. Template creation is fairly simple. Once you have all of your sample submission information ready, you're going to go ahead and click Save Template at the bottom left of the page, and then you want to come up with a template name, something that is very specific to what you have in the sample information so that you know exactly what you're loading when you open it later. So once you have a template name that you like, go ahead and click Save Template. And now all of this is saved in a template under Template Management. At the top of the screen will be a banner that confirms your save was successful. In order to load a template, you need to have your company and contact name put into the customer information section. Then you're going to scroll and go to this template management section on the page and click select template. You can start typing in the name or you can scroll and find it. I'm going to choose this one and then click load. All the information that you had previously saved will pop up under sample information. So now you don't have to re-enter all of that information if you want to do the same request more than once. If you want to delete the template, all you have to do is select Delete Template over here from the Template Management menu, and then click Confirm Delete if you still wish to delete it. We hope this video was helpful. If you have any further questions or would like further training on how to navigate your Result Point portal, please contact us at resultpoint@qlaboratories.com or at 513-471-1300. Thank you.